You are listening to the Project F.E.E.D Youth Journalist Club at Richard Green Central Park in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, what's happening? We are live and direct from the international headquarters of the Youth Journalist Group here at Richard Green Central. We are actually doing a historic first today. I'm sitting with our first young ladies component of our journalism group here in the heart of the community in South Minneapolis. These young ladies have committed to be involved every Wednesday. We meet at 5:30. They've stepped up to show some leadership. And I'm going to allow both of these young ladies to introduce themselves, their name, their age, and what school they go to.
My name is Naira. I'm 11 years old, and I go to Richard Green Central.
My name is Mercedes, and I'm 10 years old, and I go to Whittier School.
We just got all done reviewing a promo, as the young men did yesterday, about the Hopkins protest at Hopkins High School.
No discrimination! Education! 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 Education! No discrimination! No discrimination!
I'm trying to create equality for my school because the amount of disrespect and inequality in the school is ridiculous. And I just feel like I need to voice my opinion.
Everybody who had children who are of African descent in any school district should have became involved in these children's fight, because these are fights that our children are going to have to face other places.
Most majority of the kids are being suspended are African American and Hispanic, and I don't think that's right. I think they should do another tactic to try to do something better. They shouldn't just suspend them every time they do something wrong or whatever the case might be. They should just talk to them, have a meeting, and try to work it out rather than suspending them and them missing school and them being behind on their work.
So by leaving them, not necessarily by themselves, but without our symbol of solidarity, we left them alone.
This protest happened in 2013, so you guys would have been very young at this point in time. Real quick, and then we're going to talk about some other things, but for the promo, the piece that you did see, what were your thoughts about what you saw in that particular video?
My thoughts were that almost the same thing happens at my school a lot, because if it was black people that got in a problem, something like that, they'll easily suspend them or put them in ISS. But if it's like white people or something like that, they'll just won't do anything about it.
It's the same at my school. Whenever like black people do something, then black people get in trouble, and the white people just have to apologize and move on with their day. But then black people have to get an ISS, get suspended for like 3 days or something.
Let me just get this straight. Now, you guys sound very intelligent. Obviously, you have critical thinking skills, and that I'm very impressed. This is your first group and your first time picking up this microphone, and what you said was very profound. Now, let me ask you a question. For the listening audience out there, I want everybody to understand, and this is a question to both of you guys. Did you have any adult influence by the answer that you just gave?
No.
That came straight from your mind, right? I mean, I didn't coach you to answer that way, right?
Nope, I just thought of it myself.
Okay. And Mercedes, I just want the listening audience to understand, that was an answer that just came from you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want the listening audience to really understand that. And these young ones saw the Hopkins protest video promo, And this is a subject matter that we're going to be dealing with these young people, potentially in a community forum around this, where they're actually going to give some input to the community. But the important piece is the state of Minnesota has been identified recently, even in a New York Times article, as having profound problems with school suspensions and black students. So their instincts and their answer matched with national research and data that definitely quantifies all the instincts that they just gave. Let's move on to how this plays out nationally. There was a big march in Washington, D.C., young ladies, and we talked a little bit prior to this particular interview. But do you ever feel there's a time for people your age to step in leadership positions and express their voices in a way where, if need be, you organize around an issue? So, for example, the issue of school lunches is one thing, or the issue of potentially violence in your community, the issue of quality after school programming that is available for you after school. The issue of what you said, I believe we were talking about at the libraries, having homework help. Could you guys talk about, do you feel that your voices are powerful? Do you feel like your voices have the ability to change things?
Yeah. I think my voice has the ability to change things, and if I get like a whole group, then I think we'll change something, because this problem's been going on since I started kindergarten and no one's doing anything about it.
My voice, however, is powerful. If we all the people just went around and then spread the word, then it will be out there, and then people will treat us all fairly.
What are some things, young ladies, that you see in your community or in your city or in your state or in the country? What are some issues that you feel need more attention for young ladies or people in your age group? What are some issues that you can identify that you care about?
I care about, I think, there's some issues that people don't really pay attention anymore. Gun violence, people shooting down schools, or basically school problems where black people get something different than other people. And yeah, that's pretty much it, because to me it's like once it's done and over, they don't really do anything about it or care or anything like that. They'll just say, oh, well, it's done, we don't need to do anything about it anymore.
So when you say once they're done, so are you saying, I want you to kind of break that down a little bit more?
It means, like, let's say if another school shooting happened, then probably either a month or two, it'll just go back to normal, and the government and stuff say, well, this never happened, or something like that. They'll just say, no, I don't know what you're talking about, and everything will just go back to normal.
Mrs. Mercedes, could you please deal with that question? What are some of the issues that you see either in your community, in your neighborhood, in your community, or in your city, or in your state, or in the country around young people your age? What are some things that you think about when you really kind of have quiet thought and, you know, that you want to see some attention placed on?
People can treat it fairly. Everybody get the same learning, and we all do our work and all that. People can't just be helping one person. They need to help everybody.
When you say people just can't help one person, what are the things that you feel like in your age group, what do people need help with?
Like their work, their homework, their math, their reading.
Excellent. You know, I think what we should do, young ladies, is because both of you guys said something very similar. You see a need to have more tutors maybe involved. I don't know if this needs to happen at the library, or maybe we could start asking for tutors to come here to Green Central. You really hit on a good point, because when school is over sometimes and you guys have homework, there's definitely nothing a matter with getting a quality tutor to kind of help you through the process of some of the homework if you don't understand. Okay, since this is our first group, what are some things would you like to see come out of these sessions that we're having, kind of preparing you to be potentially youth reporters, to engage in some of the current event issues, and to interview some of the community that you may interact with? What are some things that you would like to see come out of these sessions that we have for the young ladies in the youth journalism group?
I want to see changes and want everything to go back to normal, because before there wasn't no problems with black people or white people. There was no problems with school students. But now there's a lot of problems in the world like this, and I think from these sessions I can probably start my own protest, get my friends who agree with this, because at my school there's a whole bunch of people who agree with me, and probably start our own protest.
Mine is no racism. Everybody get treated 50-50. And that's it.
Now, some of the things what we did with the young men, with the boys group, we went to the movies and things like that. Is there some cool stuff that you guys? Because those are kind of deep answers, like on a high level. But what are some things on a kind of like everyday kind of level that you would like to see happen with the young ladies component? Is there some kind of field trips that you could suggest, some outings or some other activities that we can incorporate into our youth journalism group?
Maybe like going to history museums and learning our history, something like that.
Going skating.
Wow. I want the listening audience to understand these young people in this room right now. This is our first meeting. You guys have committed to, I believe, recruit 2 other young ladies. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. We think that this might be a powerful opportunity for you to express your thoughts, engage in current events, learn the skill of communication, because this is what we're doing. We're practicing communication skills. When you guys learn how to speak publicly and be confident in the way you think and the way you speak, that's powerful. You understand? And both of you guys are very, very intelligent young ladies. So I think that this is going to be a dynamic group. I did make a phone call into an outstanding young lady, Talasia, one of your peers, and I hope we can get Talasia back involved, because she definitely was a good spark of energy. And so I anticipate that this is going to be a very good journey for you two. So I'll do this. Why don't we conclude this part of our girls group right now, our young journalism group here at Richard Green Central. Is there any parting words that you want to send out to the listening audience? Because we have people listening here in Minneapolis and across the country. Is there anything that you want to say to anybody out there, or shout outs to any family?
One thing that I got told when I was little was always stand up for what's right, even if you're standing alone or something like that. You can either stand alone or with your friends. It's if you're believing something, then do it, because you have the power to.
Stick up for other people. You feel like they need help with their work and you're done with yours, you ask them for help. You feel like somebody's getting picked on, you stand up for them, say stop picking on them.
Expect some good things, some great things to happen, and we need to definitely support our youth when they are speaking to us and for us. So we'll be back, and I want the listening audience to definitely stay in tune. We'll end it how we usually end it. On the count of 3, we say peace. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Peace. 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 Peace.
You are listening to the Project F.E.E.D Youth Journalist Club at Richard Green Central Park in Minneapolis, Minnesota.